I just sat and listened to dying patients and tried to be their spokesman and to teach medical students and theology students and nurses and people in the field of social issues about what people really try to say. And if you can only sit and listen and hear what they say, they teach you not only about dying but about living. And to me that's the greatest gift, to be able to sit and listen and hear.
When Elisabeth Kübler-Ross first listened to her dying patients more than 3 decades ago, she had no idea she would transform many of our culture's attitudes toward death. With the publication of many controversial books, she has continued to challenge not only the healthcare profession, but the basic values of our society as well. A doctor and trained psychiatrist, Elisabeth Kübler-Ross has spent the last 20 years fighting what she calls the last and greatest taboo of the Western world, our fears of death and dying. With extraordinary sensitivity, she learned to let dying people speak for themselves.
At the medical school in Switzerland, we didn't have courses on the care of dying patients or interviewing patients who are beyond medical help. But as soon as you graduate in Switzerland, you go and take over a country practice usually. And the first week I had terminally ill patients, and I had to sit with them and listen to them. And so I used to make my rounds. I had a whole valley with 7 villages, and I was the only physician. So you could not just pass the buck. You took care of everybody and everything. And I used to make my rounds, and then I would go to see my dying patients at the end of the day. And I had all the time in the world. And they really became my teachers, and I loved it. So it already was the beginning of my interest in caring for dying patients.